In 2013, Aquatic Wetline made its debut as an aquarium hobbyist podcast. It was hosted by Alex Cardinale, an aquarium hobbyist with a passion for tropical fish since the age of 12.
Aquatic Wetline was very successful because Alex shared his love and passion for fish keeping like only he could. You could hear the love of fish and passion for caring and educating about the fish in his voice. It attracted new hobbyists and even experienced hobbyists to tune in.
Aquatic Wetline went on hiatus for a couple of years. Now Alex has brought it back, this time right here on YouTube. Alex will host new episodes of Aquatic Wetline Fish Keeping Podcast, but it will be in video format and you may get to see some of Alex's personal fish.
Alex will discuss everything aquarium related from fresh to salt. What aquarium topic is in the aquarium for discussion tonight? Let's find out. Fish keepers, if you enjoy the show, please share the YouTube video URL on your social media. Now here is Alex.
It's Halloween season and the spooky aquatic monster fish are out and about. Alex and Aquatic Wetline proudly present Monster Fish Month. Alex will discuss various monster fish species that are available in the aquarium hobby. Monster fish that will be discussed this Halloween spooky season include gars, bikers, lungfish, and more, including fish that can cause harm. Alex is a monster himself and he loves monster fish, so this month it's his calling. Aquatic Wetline and Alex proudly present this Monster Fish Month special.
Hello, tropical fish keepers. Welcome to Aquatic Wetline and welcome to another Monster Fish Month special. Happy Halloween, fish keepers. Can you believe Halloween is just 3 days away? Halloween is this Monday. This year is sure flying by. I'm your host, the one and the only South American fish keeper and monster fish keeper, Alex Cardinale. Happy to bring to you another Monster Fish Month special. So far on Monster Fish Month, we've talked about gars and we've talked about Polypterus. Now, I have kept gars and I have kept Polypterus in the past, but the fish that I'm going to talk about today has eluded me in my fish keeping hobby. I have yet to keep any of these fish. They are a very cool oddball monster fish that I definitely want to keep in the future. My dad kept one years ago, and I have some friends that keep this amazing monster fish. Today's monster fish that I'm going to talk about comes from 3 countries. It's a freshwater fish that you'll find in Australia, Africa, and South America. What a spooky fish, perfect for Halloween. Imagine a monster fish that can walk on land, breathe air with a lung, so yes, a fish with a lung, be fearless, and a fish that can survive out of water for up to 4 years. Yes, that's right. The lungfish can survive out of water for 4 years because it wraps itself around a cocoon for protection. So the monster fish that I'm going to talk about today is the lungfish. A very cool monster fish and one that I definitely need to keep in the future. So, as always, do you have questions on lungfish? If you do, post them in the comments below and I will definitely answer them. Share your experiences in the comments below if you've kept lungfish before as well. So, today I'm going to start the show with a crazy lungfish story that my dad, when he had a lungfish, it attacked an iridescent shark, and I'll share that story with you in just a second. Then I'm going to tell you what you need to know about lungfish. I'll talk about the different lungfish species. And the main event for today's show, I'm going to conclude the show by answering the question, are lungfish dangerous to humans? So, with that being said, let's go ahead and start learning about the infamous, monstrous, eel-like lungfish. And I'm going to start the show with my crazy lungfish story. Now, years ago, my dad had a large 6 foot, 180 gallon aquarium. And in that aquarium, he had a West African lungfish that was about 2.5 feet long. He also had a large iridescent shark that was about 18 inches long. There was a gar in there, and there were some other fish in there, like barbs, and I believe some catfish and cichlids. So I was young at the time, and I was at school, and my dad was at work when this happened. So it was just my mom, the dog, and the fish at home, I believe, if I remember correctly. But anyway, the lungfish was very active that day, and the iridescent shark that was in that aquarium was swimming around very frantically, very nervously, and it looked like something was going after the iridescent shark, according to the person that witnessed this attack, which was obviously my mom. So, anyway, the lungfish opened his mouth to do a big yawn, and the next thing you know, the lungfish is killing and attacking the iridescent shark, which is very, very cool, in my opinion, because I like monster fish like that. But it just goes to show that sometimes some monster fish can snap on other fish. Lungfish have really sharp teeth. A lot of people don't know that about lungfish, is that they have sharp teeth and they can do a lot of damage to other fish. So it may have been that this lungfish did not particularly like the iridescent shark. Maybe the iridescent shark was too active for it. Maybe the iridescent shark was pestering it too much. So the lungfish got up from his hiding spot and opened his mouth and attacked the iridescent shark. The attack was so fierce that the iridescent shark's life was over because it lost half its back, and basically there's no way you could survive that if you're a fish. So the lungfish totally destroyed iridescent shark, but it had been totally peaceful prior to that. So like I said, iridescent sharks are a very boisterous fish. They're very frantic. They don't think before they swim. They run into other things. They bump into other fish. So maybe the iridescent shark had pissed off the lungfish, and the lungfish simply retaliated by killing it. Because after that, it never bothered any other fish, including catfish that shared a rock with it. So it definitely has to have been that the iridescent shark made it upset by constantly pushing itself into it, and this caused the lungfish to snap, attack it, and kill it. It obviously was not for predation means or predatory means because it did not eat it. If it wanted to kill it to eat it, it would have ate it, but it just basically snapped and killed it. So basically, it's like when you beat up a bully, but in fish terms. So that was a cool lungfish story to share with you. I'm sure there are many other lungfish stories out there that other fish keepers are going to share in the comments. Now, I personally, I have never kept lungfish, so I can't really share any experiences on them. Now, last year at this time, I would say that I never kept wolffish. But guess what? Now I have wolffish, and successfully I have wolffish with tank mates. My wolffish are living with an Oscar, red terror, fiesta cichlid. What else is in there? Some black bar silver dollars, vulture cat. I have so many fish in there that I can't even remember what's in there half the time. But I definitely will try getting a lungfish, and I probably will have success with tank mates. So that was a fun story to start our show. So let's get informed on lungfish, shall we? Here is what to know about the lungfish. A really cool fish. Now, lungfish are best known for retaining ancestral characteristics. Now, ancestral means they've been around since the dinosaur age. So they have prehistoric characteristics, and that is pretty cool. Lungfish and bikers and gars have been around since the dinosaur age. Now, one of the ancestral characteristics that the lungfish has is the ability to breathe air, the presence of lobed fins with a well-developed internal skeleton. Lungfish represent the closest living relatives of the tetrapods. Today, there are only 6 known species of lungfish living in Africa, South America, and Australia. The fossil record shows that lungfish were abundant since the Triassic era. The fossil record also suggests advanced lungfish had a widespread freshwater distribution, and the current distribution of modern lungfish species reflects extinction of many lineages. So there were probably more lungfish species all throughout the world. But today, lungfish are found in Australia, Africa, and South America. Lungfish have a highly specialized respiratory system. They have a distinct feature in that their lungs are connected to the larynx and pharynx without a trachea. While other species of fish can breathe air using modified vascularized gas bladders, lungfish bladders, or excuse me, other fish bladders are usually simply sacs devoid of complex internal structure. However, in contrast, the lungs of lungfish are subdivided into numerous smaller air sacs, maximizing the surface area available for gas exchange. So the difference between an ordinary fish that breathes air is that the ordinary fish has simple sacs that are devoid of complex internal structure. Now, the lungfish has multiple smaller air sacs. That means it gets more surface area for gas exchange. Most extant lungfish species have 2 lungs, with the exception of the Australian lungfish, which has only 1 lung. The lungs of lungfish are homologous to the lungs of tetrapods. As in tetrapods and bikers, the lungs extend from the ventral surface of the esophagus and gut. Lungfish are omnivorous. Lungfish feed on fish, insects, crustaceans, worms, mollusks, amphibians, and plant matter. So basically, lungfish will eat any food they can, but omnivorous means meat and plant matter. So lungfish will eat small fish, insects, crustaceans like crawfish and shrimp, worms, mollusks, etc. Lungfish have an intestinal spiral valve rather than a true stomach. African and South American lungfish are capable of surviving seasonal drying out of their habitats by burrowing into mud and estivating throughout the dry season. The African and South American lungfish can survive in this way for up to 4 years. They can survive without water for up to 4 years. That is really cool. Now, changes in lungfish psychology allow it to slow its metabolism to as little as 1/6 of the normal metabolic rate, and protein waste is converted from ammonia to less toxic urea. Normally, lungfish excrete nitrogenous waste as ammonia directly into the water. And the last thing to know about lungfish: lungfish can be extremely long-lived. A Queensland Australian lungfish at the Shed Aquarium in Chicago was part of the permanent live collection from 1933 to 2017 after a previous resident at the Sydney Aquarium, at perhaps 90 years old, it was euthanized following a decline in health consistent with old age. So if you want to get a lungfish for your monster aquarium, be wary that they can live a long, long life, and they are a relatively hardy species, which is what I like about lungfish. So now let's learn about the different types of lungfish that are out there. And for each lungfish that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to show you an image of what they look like. So up first, we have the Queensland lungfish. The Queensland lungfish is also known as the Australian lungfish. So here is an image of the Queensland Australian lungfish. Now, in my humble opinion, the Australian lungfish looks similar to an African arowana, doesn't it? Doesn't this look like a African arowana? But it is a Australian lungfish, aka the Queensland lungfish. Now, this lungfish is endemic to Australia. It is very different from the African and South American lungfish. The Queensland Australian lungfish can live for several days out of the water only if it is kept moist, but will not survive total water depletion, unlike its African and South American counterparts. So the Australian lungfish needs to be kept moist at all times to survive. Now, the African lungfish is one of the rarest lungfish to keep in the aquarium hobby, and therefore it also is one of the most expensive lungfish to get. The Australian Queensland lungfish can run about a couple $1,000s. So this is a fish that's pretty much similar to the Asian arowana. You've got to pay big bucks to keep it, and when you buy it, you practically keep it for life because it is so expensive. The Australian lungfish is native only to the Mary and Burnett river systems in southeastern Queensland. So you'll find them in the Mary and Burnett rivers in southeastern Queensland. It has been successfully distributed to other more southerly rivers, including the Brisbane, Albert, Stanley, and Camara rivers, and the Enoggera Reservoir in the past century. So the Queensland lungfish can be found all over Australia. The Australian lungfish cannot survive complete cessation of its habitat, but it can live out of water for several days if the surface of its skin is constantly and consistently moist. Unlike the African species, Protopterus, it does not survive dry seasons by secreting a mucus cocoon and burying itself in the mud. So the Australian lungfish does not do that. Only the African lungfish and the South American lungfish do that. So that is the Queensland lungfish, one of the rarest lungfish in the aquarium hobby today. All right, right now we're going to talk about one of my all-time favorite lungfish, and it is one of my dream lungfish to get besides the West African lungfish. You know, I'm a South American fish keeper. I love fish from the Amazon, so it's only fitting that I love this fish, and that is the South American lungfish. One of the things I like about the South American lungfish is that at a juvenile stage, it is a very pretty fish. Here is an image of a juvenile South American lungfish. Look how pretty it is. A pure black body with green goldish spots. Very, very nice. Now, the South American lungfish is found in swamps and slow moving waters of the Amazon River, Paraguay, and lower Parana River basins in South America. It is notable as an oblate air breather. It is the sole member of its family. It is the only lungfish found in South America. Baby South American lungfish is spotted with gold and greenish spots on a black background. In the adult, this fades to a brown or gray color. Juvenile South American lungfish feed on insect larvae and snails, while adults are omnivorous, adding algae and shrimp to their diets, crushing them with their heavily mineralized tooth plates. The fish's usual habitats disappear during the dry season, so they burrow into the mud and make a chamber about 12 to 20 inches down, leaving a few holes to the surface for air. During this aviation, they produce a layer of mucus to seal in moisture and slow their metabolism down greatly. The African lungfish also do this. When the rainy season begins, they come out to begin and mate. The parents build a nest for the young, which resemble tadpoles and have four external gills. To enrich the oxygen in the nest, the males develop highly vascularized structures on his pelvic fins that release additional oxygen into the water. The young become air breathing at about 7 weeks. Juveniles have external thread-like gills, very much like those of newts and axolotls. The South American lungfish, a very gorgeous lungfish, and like I said, one of my favorite lungfish that I definitely would like to have the pleasure to keep. Now we're going to talk about the African species of lungfish, and we're going to start with the marbled lungfish. The marbled lungfish is a very pretty and gorgeous lungfish. Here is an image of a marbled lungfish. Look how gorgeous the marbled lungfish really is. Look at that coloration of the marbled lungfish. Very, very pretty. Now, the marbled lungfish is also known as the leopard lungfish. It is found in eastern and central Africa as well as the Nile region. The marble lungfish is found in the African countries of Angola, Burundi, Egypt, Ethiopia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Republic of the Congo, and more. The marbled lungfish is widespread throughout Africa. Adult marbled lungfish live in swamps, riverbeds, floodplains, and river deltas throughout its range. The juvenile members of the species often live in between the roots of papyrus plants. Despite being aquatic, adult marbled lungfish can live in riverbeds and other areas that have no rain for portions of the year due to their ability to estivate or burrow in the ground to form an air bubble and breathe out of a hole in the cocoon they formed. So the marbled lungfish, very, very cool and pretty lungfish. Very, very gorgeous lungfish. So far we've talked about the Queensland, Australian lungfish, the South American lungfish, and now we've talked about the marbled lungfish. Let's talk about keeping and caring for the lungfish in a home aquarium. Lungfish are really easy to keep in a home aquarium. You just have to have a large aquarium. So for lungfish, I recommend a 6-foot aquarium. It could be a 125 gallon, a 150 gallon, a 180 gallon. Any large aquarium will do. You'll want to provide some driftwood and some places to hide for your lungfish. It will eat pretty much anything. You can have raw shrimp, tilapia, earthworms, pellets. Lungfish will pretty much accept anything. When they're hungry, they will eat anything. As far as tank mates are concerned, that's a very controversial topic. A lot of people will tell you you can't have tank mates with lungfish. I have never kept a lungfish, so I'm not even going to talk about tank mates with lungfish. But I will say, if you value that fish, don't put it in a tank with a lungfish. If you must have tank mates with a lungfish, try a school of small tetra or a school of guppies first. And if the lungfish don't attack those tetra or their guppies, then you can consider adding tank mates with your lungfish. Very, very cool oddball monster fish the lungfish is. All right, I'm going to take a quick intermission. This intermission is being brought to you by our supporters of Aquatic Wetline. Our supporters of Aquatic Wetline are Aquatic and Exotic, an amazing fish store here in South Florida, here in Stuart, Florida, that can get lungfish. I have seen lungfish in there from time to time. And they also have angelfish, discus, other monster fish, and awesome aquarium supplies. Our other supporter is Little Egypt Aquarium Club, home to quality aquarium supplies and fish food. Save 10% by using coupon code ALEX. When I come back from intermission, I'll talk about the other African lungfish species, and I will answer the question, are lungfish dangerous to humans? Stay tuned, folks. More lungfish chat coming up next.
Are you a tropical fish keeper living in South Florida? You need to check out Aquatic and Exotic in Stuart, Florida. Aquatic and Exotic is home to quality freshwater and saltwater tropical fish. You will find African cichlids, South and Central American cichlids, goldfish and koi, and exotic fish. We also supply aquarium supplies like filters and heaters, aquariums, and lights. We also have quality fish food brands. Aquatic and Exotic is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Questions? Give us a call at 772-781-4046. Stop on by and check us out. 1525 A.C.E. Lockhart Street, Stuart, Florida 34994.
Aqua Alex here, and I'm proud to partner with Little Egypt Aquarium Club. Little Egypt Aquarium Club was founded by my friend Jeremy Stellhorn. Little Egypt Aquarium Club provides aquarium hobbyists with quality aquarium supplies. You will find sponge filters, pleco caves, and so much more. Little Egypt Aquarium Club also has quality fish foods. You'll find things like rapashi. Rapashi is a name brand fish food, perfect for plecostomus, community fish, and even monster fish. You'll find medicated fish foods as well. Aqua Alex and Jeremy Stellhorn are teaming up to save you some money. If you use my discount code, which is Alex, you will get 10% off your order. So go to littleegyptaquariumclub.com right now, place an order, and use coupon code Alex, and you will save 10% on your order. Now back to the fish chat. Welcome back to Aquatic Wetline Monster Fish Month Special. Tonight we are talking about lungfish. And before our intermission, I shared a crazy lungfish story. I talked about what to know about lungfish, and I talked about some species of lungfish, including the Queensland lungfish, the South American lungfish, and the marbled lungfish. And I talked about keeping and caring for the lungfish in the home aquarium. Now let's talk about some more lungfish species. We're going to talk about the West African lungfish right now. So here is the West African lungfish. Let me show you a picture of the West African lungfish here. Let's see, where is it? Here is the West African lungfish. This is my all-time favorite lungfish. So the West African lungfish is my favorite lungfish. And the West African lungfish can grow 3 to 3.5 feet, sometimes even 4 feet in length. It is a monster lungfish. The West African lungfish has a diet that is unlike other lungfish, consisting of various mollusks, crabs, prawn, and small fish within its distribution. Now, what's unique about the West African lungfish is that it can also go for up to 3.5 years without any food intake whatsoever. During this time period, it behaves much like a estivating fish in that it buries itself in the mud and does not move until more favorable conditions occur. Now, the West African lungfish is one of the more popular lungfish and the more common ones that enter the aquarium hobby. And that would be the lungfish that I want if I cannot get my hands on a South American lungfish. I would want a West African lungfish. All right, the next lungfish we're going to talk about is the gilded lungfish. This is the smallest lungfish known to man. It stays the smallest. It can only grow up to 17 inches. That's right. The gilded lungfish only grows to 17 inches in length. And here is what to know about the gilded lungfish. It's also known as the East African lungfish. It is found in the swamps and floodplains of East Africa and has been positively identified in Kenya, Somalia, and Mozambique. I don't know, I can't pronounce that African country. It is the smallest lungfish, reaching only 17 inches, and it is found in a wide range of freshwater habitats in West and Middle Africa, as well as the northern half of southern Africa. And there is one species of lungfish left that not much information is known about, and that is the spotted slender lungfish. And I'm going to give you as much information that I have found for the spotted slender lungfish. And this is an image of the spotted slender lungfish. Now, the only thing that is known about the spotted slender lungfish is that it grows huge. It can grow up to 4 feet in length, and it is widely distributed across Africa. This one's kind of ugly. I don't like the spotted slender lungfish, but lungfish are pretty cool in general. So my all-time favorite lungfish would be the West African, which is pictured here. The West African lungfish is very nice and one that I definitely would love to get. And then, of course, the South American lungfish, very, very pretty. The East African lungfish, the gilded lungfish, is very, very pretty. And lastly, the Australian lungfish, which is rare and expensive, would be one that I would want to definitely get. So I, Aqua Alex, am now going to conclude the show with our main event. And our main event for this show is, are lungfish dangerous to humans? No, not really. Lungfish will not purposely attack humans. However, they are considered to be fearless, and they will attack almost anything that moves, including the hands of humans. So if you put your hands near a lungfish cave or where a lungfish is hiding, and it's a very territorial lungfish, it will have no problem biting the hand that feeds it. So be very careful when you're putting your hands in a lungfish tank. But no, a lungfish will not go out of its way to attack you. It will not crawl out of the aquarium to attack you. The lungfish is a very cool fish to keep in the aquarium hobby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and monster fish keepers, I would like to thank you for allowing me, Aqua Alex, to educate you about lungfish, one of the fish species that I have researched and I have yet to keep that I love so much. I had a blast talking about another monster fish in the lungfish. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed the show, please hit that like button and share today's video on social media. Share this video with your friends and your family so that they can learn about lungfish as well. Monster Fish Month continues tonight, because tonight I have another episode of Aquatic Wetline Monster Fish Month. Tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to talk about freshwater electric fish, like electric eels, electric knives, electric catfish, etc. Monster Fish Month continues tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, and it concludes tomorrow with fish that can cause harm. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale, if you're a new viewer. Happy fish keeping, everyone. Take on and go lungfish and go monster fish. Happy fish keeping, everybody. It's Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale, and I am hosting the Halloween 2022 Bash. I'm inviting all you scary ghosts, goblins, and monsters, to be a part of the Halloween 2022 Bash hosted by me, Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale. On the Halloween Bash this year, there will be appearances from Chef Alex and Aqua Alex Cardinale. What cooking recipes will Chef Alex give out? What monster fish will Aqua Alex talk about on the Halloween Bash? There will also be Halloween discussion and scary stories with Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale. Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale will also discuss his favorite cat, tigers, and tiger attacks on humans. So it's going to be a fun Halloween bash this year, filled with Halloween stories and a lot of Halloween fun. The Halloween 2022 bash airs live Halloween night, Monday, October 31st, 2022, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, only on my YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale. Happy Halloween, everybody, and I will see you Halloween night, crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale. It's going to be great